Hi Capricorn, this is your general tarot reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Ascendant or Rising sign for the month of October. Capricorn, let's do as we always do. We're going to shuffle the cards and wait on all the right ones to come out for you, my love. And in the meantime, let's talk about the energies that you may feel throughout the month. So we leave September and enter October still under the effect of the big Aries full moon that happened for you in your 4th house of family life and the 4 walls that you live in. And maybe some of you just went back to visit family, went back to the homeland, went back to your roots. Maybe literally went back to your roots. Some of you might have been very interested in your ancestry and so on like that. But you had a bit of quiet time where you were away from it all to spend time in privacy, like I said, maybe with some family members, and to just have a little reconnect with some good food and some quiet time and some peace and quiet. Yeah, that's what you needed, some peace and quiet and time to, just reconnect with yourself a little bit, to unplug and unwind. Now, for some of you, there could have been quite a tense moment within your home or within your family situation where somebody may have done something rash or something impulsive, and you may have had to go back and try to fix that or talk somebody in your family out of doing something ridiculous. So you're leaving that behind, but the energy there is still coming in a little bit into the month. So what your soul wants to do after all of this is to head somewhere else, to head out of this quiet time, out of this reflective peace and calm and being in nature and in one with yourself, and getting back in to the game. Yeah, getting back into pushing hard with your reputation, with your responsibilities, with your career, with showing yourself as a key figure out there, which you love. I mean, this is your game, Capricorn, being out there and playing to win. So this is where it's at this month for you at the beginning of the month, getting in and playing to win. Now, you are all enthusiastic about doing this. You're all fired up, geared up and ready to go and ready to present yourself to the world and whatever it is that you're doing to the world, and to step out and be seen. However, what you might find is that there may be a few hiccups along the way doing that, because you want to really push things along. You know, it'll be kind of work, work, work. And what you'll find is that maybe the people around you or the situations around you require something more easygoing and relaxed. Maybe for those of you who work in an office or with a team, that you might find that they're not working, they're talking about working, they're talking about what work will look like when they eventually get to doing that work, brainstorming ideas, all at their own pace, all at their own leisure, and not having a huge amount of what you would perceive as structure. So this could infuriate you a little bit. The conversations in the workspace could become very tiresome and draining to you. And you might look around and say, hello, as I said, less talk, more work. But no, they want to know about the aesthetics of things. They want to know, well, how does this thing look? And is it beautiful enough? And is it symmetrical enough? And is it flowing enough? And you're just there thinking, Mother of God, maybe it would flow more if you just shut up, stop talking and actually do the work. That's how we get flow moving, okay? Yeah, so there's an element of that, but don't think this is a silly waste of time, because you're going to learn something in this. Energy does flow this month when you do become, say, part of something within work, and where you connect to people, where you let them have their say, where you let them maybe, put the brakes on work a little bit to talk about other things, to talk about the aesthetics of things, or brainstorming in particular, and networking. People in your office might be more, or you, if you're self-employed, you may find that it's more beneficial to you this month if you network, meet people, meet them for lunch, meet them for dinners, talk to them, get information through other people, and share a little bit of what you know, and they'll share a little bit of what they know. And maybe between the two of you, you might come up with some great new ideas. So while it's frustrating, the energy as we get into the month in your career, where it's all about the discourse, the dialogue, the debate, the how do you think this goes, as frustrating as I said and infuriating as that is, it will be to your advantage to go along with it, because there is the kind of element of also having to keep your words sweet and not losing it either, not feeling that you're losing power, number one, in this situation in work, because you're not. Just a little dynamic is shifting here. But also to kind of remember to keep your words sweet, because as they say, keep your words sweet, because maybe one day at a later date you may have to eat them. So it's be sweet, go along with the flow, be pleasurable, and communicate, network. And I think in this you may actually build your reputation. And see, this is where it's like a contradiction for you. You're no fool. You understand the need to talk nicely to people and to get people on your side in your career and so on. But at the start of this month, if you really run with that energy of, keeping things nice, sweet, and meeting and having lunches and so on, you may elevate your status. People may suddenly say, hey, I really like Capricorn. They're kind of less work-oriented now, and they're actually more open to coming out and having lunch with us. I like them. And you might be very surprised that little exercises like this, there's energy to them. And like I said, that very energy could push you in your workspace. Yeah, but push you in your workspace, yet there's also an interesting thing happening. In your workspace, even though you'll benefit, like I said, and you might hear that people are talking very well about you in your work this month. You're getting good feedback, good applause, good vibes, because you're more open now to the things we just mentioned. So if those of you who are maybe thinking of changing your job, if you want a good recommendation from your boss, your manager, or your work peers, this could be a time to accumulate that, because it seems as we go through the month, for those of you wishing to change your occupation entirely, it'll do well for you this month to have a lot of people on your side to give you good recommendations, so that you can maybe change career, because that could happen. Because we're dealing a lot here with the 11th house this month. And I see a lot of stuff happening with Pluto and Saturn here through the month, between your career and maybe wanting to totally change it up a bit. Add something radical, unusual, different. Maybe work with a brand new team of people. Or maybe leave one team and go and do something like completely turning your career attitude or even career itself on its head and doing something radically different. So we'll talk about it. Let me just tell you what's happening. October 6th, we Venus retrograding in Scorpio in the 11th house. Now, here's the energy of you really getting a huge amount of pleasure from going back and reconnecting with old teams, maybe sports teams, old groups of friends, hanging out with them, and reconnecting with maybe unusual people from your past, maybe an unusual lover from your past, somebody that looks very attractive, presents themselves well, everything is going fine, but when you bring them to some event or to meet your friends, they look the part, they talk the part, until at some moment they might say something that you just go, oh my God, did they actually just say that? Or did they actually just do that? I mean, how can you be almost so perfect, yet in 1 second you can kill it by saying or doing something ridiculous? So maybe that's the reason why this person is an ex. But they may resurface and reappear in your life. It's probably not a great idea to really dive deeply into that for those of you who are experiencing that, because Venus has got very rosy coloured glasses on this month, and she might be looking at people that are not your usual sort, or people from the past that you've left a long time ago, and she might be looking back and making them look all beautiful all over again. So don't fall for it. It's a Venus flytrap. Don't fall into the snap of that Venus trap. The Venus trap, indeed. But also, going back to old collaborations, old networks, old teams, old sports, going back and maybe taking part again in an old sport that you used to play in. So that could be it. It could be many, many, many things. But we'll go on. Old trends. Why am I saying old trends? Old fashion styles could resurface. And you may absolutely be convinced that this is a trend now, that it's coming back into fashion. It probably isn't. So if you decide to throw a bunch of money at something that's absolutely, definitely, 100% sure coming back into fashion, it's probably not. Now, 11th house can also represent episodes, serials, things that happen in a sequence. So if you're going to throw a bunch of money at buying a complete box set of your favourite movie and it costs a lot of money, can you avoid doing that this month? Really avoid doing that. And maybe avoid, buying a bunch of merchandise from your favourite movie, your favourite TV show, your favourite band or sports team. Just hold in the purse strings if you get all enthusiastic about that, because you may regret it. That's the point. That's why I'm saying it. It may be money that you look back on later and go, why did I buy all this junk? What was I thinking? I should have listened to She-Bear when she said that. So, October 9th, new moon in Libra in the 10th house. So, there could be a moment, particularly around the 9th, where you feel that your career is a challenge to you. And you probably feel that you're not able to spread your wings enough, that you're not able to exercise enough power in your life by doing what you're doing or being in the position that you're in your career. And it's probably time for you to change that up. And the new moon on the 9th of October might find you doing that, handing out your resume or using these connections that you have at the start of the month, these new friends that you've made at the start of the month to really push your career in a new direction. So maybe that's something you need to work on. Now, I know a lot of you are retired or unemployed at the moment. For those who are unemployed, October 9th, really get out there and send out your resume and knock on every door and meet. This is meet and greet time. It will be your spoken word, your communication, meeting people for coffee that could really open something up for you. Get out there and meet as many, many, many people as you can. For those who are unemployed and who have absolutely no interest anymore, or retired, should I say, and work is just not your thing, I've done it, I don't want to do that anymore. This could be a moment where you do something very interesting, maybe a creative hobby or something that you are involved in a group or a team, that you just want to get out there and be the spearhead of that, be the face of something and organise it and get it up and running. Maybe a male figure might be very significant around October the 9th to open up something new in terms of having a new responsibility in your life. Maybe just helping somebody else out by, sharing responsibilities with them. So that could be very nice energy there too. So October 10th, Mercury in Scorpio in the 11th house. October 23rd, Sun in Scorpio in the 11th house. So say from the 23rd, 24th, things really start to move. You might get the first taste of it around the 12th of October, where again, it's this thing of a new group of people, a new team and work perhaps, a new setup, a new unusual group of people who have a set of skills that maybe you really want, or you want to learn, you want to get involved in, you want to be part of their circle. Maybe you want to move up in your occupation to be part of the upper circle, and you are determined now to spread those little Capricorn wings and start moving. And moving you will do. You most certainly will do. It's just a powerful month as I look down and see that we've only 2 cards. It is a powerful month to really explore how far you can go within your career. or within some area where you are responsible, within some area where you are a leader, where you are the president, the manager of a club or a team or a society. You were to push that on and be inspired by this new wave of air that's coming in, and to go with it and to use it to propel you into the future. Because at some point this month you'll realize, Capricorn, that a job is what you do, but a career is what you do with what you do. So you're learning that lesson this month. It's not enough to just work. You've got to exert more power and show that you can do it within a group of people. Show that you can win out, and you will. You certainly will. 11th house energy, again, for some people it could be something radical, because when you're dealing with the 11th house and then Uranus energy there too, it could be a radical shift in your career or within your circle of friends or within your image, changing your image up that you are hardly recognizable. And for somebody else, it could be just as simple as saying, I don't know, things have gotten a bit boring recently. I think I'll go back and watch season 1, episode 1 from the very beginning of my old TV show that I used to love, and watch everything back to back. So there are subtle differences. Some of you will feel it more, okay? The full moon, October 24th, full moon in Taurus in your 5th house. Now this is where things do get interesting potentially. This is where, within a group of friends or a team or a society, you could meet a very unusual person and fall in love with them. For those who are in the looking for love zone, it could come from a very unusual person who does something outrageous with their life, or they're a very dynamic person that just spark you up a little bit. And they could be very different to the type of person that you're used to going with. And they could really, really, really feed you with that new lovely sense of an exciting, thrilling, magnetic love. And it could be a love at first sight moment for some of you around October 24th. So this could be exciting for those in that zone. If you are doing the work and getting out there and meeting new circles of people, there could, around the 24th of October, be love at first sight. Yeah, absolutely love at first sight. A connection being made instantly where your soul and their soul immediately recognize the love in each other. So it's worth it, if that's what you're looking for. In terms of your creativity, I think that if you are creating something, if you are doing something fun, and if you're maybe into sports or something like that, around the 24th of October, there's a success here. Whatever you're producing, creating, or doing within a sport or a game, playing some sort of game, maybe a very, I won't say mind game, but a game of intelligence. A lot of intelligence is needed for this game. Then you win. You get the trophy, you get the medal, you win. And around 24th again, full moon, it's that thing where suddenly large groups of people are celebrating you. So what are you doing, Capricorn? Are you pushing something creative out to be shared with a bunch of people, with a larger circle of people? Are you doing something that's really opening up your life to a much broader group of people, maybe on the internet, maybe on social media, where around the 24th, whatever it is you're doing, launching something personal to you, relaunching your identity, relaunching a brand, stepping out in front of an audience or in front of friends even, or an arena of people. You win, you're celebrated. So actually it is quite a big turnaround for you from the full moon onwards. Yeah. Because I think towards the full moon, you kind of realize that your soul, you've learned this from the beginning of the month. I mean, your soul is a deep pool, which can't ever really be explored by only dipping your toes in the shallow end. You're going in at the deep end this month, Capricorn, and you're taking big risks. You're taking a risk, you're taking a chance, and it'll pay off 24th of October. whatever it is you're doing will pay off. Now, other things, as we only have 2 cards, Capricorn, what the heck? October 31st, which is Halloween, Mercury and Sagittarius in your 12th house. So, yeah, towards the end of the month, you might find that you might be cutting ties with some people, some things. Really, now that you've embraced maybe a new career, a new position in your work, a new position of responsibility, that you might kind of say goodbye to some old group, some old team, some old friends at the very end of the month. And you may revisit your career one last time at the end of the month in order maybe to sever ties and say goodbye. So it is potentially quite a kind of shifting month for you this month, yeah. So as a few cards come out, I'm going to do one more shuffle, Capricorn, and then I'm going to have to choose the cards because we only have, 6 cards. So let's start choosing the cards. We have this. La-da-da. Sing amongst yourselves there. Yeah, 5th house around the 24th of October. It's a lot to do with entertaining in front of a large group of people too. Maybe you could be public speaking, singing, dancing, performing, acting, doing some theatrical work around the full moon. And that would definitely be a huge success. Yeah. You're being very creative at the end of the month. Re-engaging with your creativity. I like that. Okay. The Fool. No, Capricorn, you're no fool. We know you're no fool. But the Fool means new beginnings, changing things up entirely. Why? Because the wheel is turning. Yeah. Oh, and then this one came out. Flipped over. Yes, the last cards. So Capricorn, we have all the cards that we need. And now let's move over and show the surprising and exciting 11th house style overview. I don't know what happened there. Sorry, Capricorn, I got cut off. So here is the energy of the Knight of Pentacles beside the Knight of Wands. As we enter the month, there is this new feeling for you that you have a new purpose. And the new purpose is to maybe follow the money. This is what the Knight is doing. He's working slowly and steadily, being open, being receptive, being keen. You know, we talked about this a few moments ago about people maybe doing work in a slightly different way than you're used to. Maybe you don't necessarily agree with the way they do things, but you're still taking it easy. You're showing a bit of caution and you're learning whatever lesson needs to be learned because you sense, even at the beginning of the month, that there's bigger places for you to go because this horse here is chomping at the bit to go. It's a clash of slow and steady and wanting to bring out this new soul purpose, yet at the same time feeling the fire ignite in you where you want to do it now. I need to move on. I'm going to take this opportunity as it comes. So move. But as I said to you, the energy at the start of the month is less like go, and more like show caution, open your ears and listen, build up good relationships, build up good communication skills, so that when you do finally want to go, that other people are going to, give you a good reference, give you, they might call up the new office, if for those of you changing jobs, and say, yeah, Capricorn is a really steady person and they're really, really nice. So it pays off. It pays off for you to be open, receptive, a little bit cautious, and maybe just when you see this other energy at work, not to battle with it, just to sit on your horse, observe it and say, oh, I see what you're doing. I see where you're going. It's not what I want to do anymore, but I see what you're doing. Now, here we have money, meeting money. So the top row, we've 3 money cards. And here is the energy of you really being open now to making new money. Everything we spoke about, I really believe that it's very important for you now to be paid a kind of salary that you deserve, to be paid and promoted, and to watch out for these new opportunities when they're coming, particularly around October 9th. If there is a new opportunity to make money, step into a new position of power within your work or an entirely different workspace, I would go for it. And not to worry so much about the fear of money and the fear of this, because there may be a situation where you're saying, I want to take this new offer, I want to expand, I want to jump into new territory, I want to play this in a broader sense with my career. But I'm kind of afraid that the money I'm getting now is quite decent. So I'll sacrifice that money to do something I love. Maybe going to do something you love in a new opportunity could mean initially sacrificing money a little bit. But it seems to be what you want to do. It seems to be what you want to do, Capricorn. And the new opportunity that comes your way may also be the very thing that takes you out of that feeling of powerlessness, that other people are all inside enjoying all the good things of life and you're on the outside saying, why is it always me left out of the good stuff? Why don't I get into the winner's circle? Why aren't I drinking wine and champagne in with the big boys and big girls and the big players and the high rollers? Well, why am I just out here in all rags in the snow? Well, why are you? And that's the big question. Well, why are you? You shouldn't be there. If you're at this situation here where you're just on the outside looking into a place that you really want to be, then what are you doing? Get in there and take every new opportunity, particularly around the 9th of October, that comes to you, to get in there. Because I know sometimes it's difficult to make changes. I know. And sometimes for you, Capricorn, it's unusual for you because on one hand, you don't like to make changes. But on the other hand, if you see a change that makes absolute sense, you'll turn your whole world completely upside down to do it. So I think we're dealing with the latter here this month, that you're prepared when you see a new opportunity to change your whole life up in some way, particularly with your finances and your career. That if you do it and take that risk, it seems, that the risk could pay off. It could pay off. I'm not telling you to do it. I mean, you have to weigh this up yourself, because here comes Justice, the one who weighs things up. It's a Libra card. It's also the card of karma, getting what you deserve. And I think that's what's happening here. This month you're looking and saying, I don't deserve to be not making the big money that I should be making. I don't deserve not to be the manager, not to be the executive, not to be the high roller. I don't deserve that. I deserve to do better than I'm doing. And how you get there is by collaboration, is by using your wonderful skills, because this is a very Capricorn card and a Mercurial card. This is using all your real talk it out skills and talk with professionals, get some real wise advice, maybe even legal advice on how to maybe sever a contract to start a new work contract, maybe some legal advice about how to start your own business, maybe signing a new contract in work, maybe it's a new work contract, could be. But again, it's this feeling, Capricorn, that you recognize that there are new opportunities coming for you this month. And on one hand, you want to really go for it. And on the other hand, you're saying, oh my God, this will all end in disaster. Am I crazy? Am I mad to take this leap of faith into the unknown? Because 11th house is very much like that. In the 10th house, you feel more secure. But in the 11th house, it's, well, maybe with the Sun and Libra in the 10th house, but with the 11th house, you're feeling more like there's the great unknown out there, the great mystery, the alien frontiers, you know, the places that have not yet been discovered, or at least not by you. And you want to dive in, but you do have the fear of diving in. I prefer to be solid, but yet I know that if I want to move up a notch, I have to take a risk. So what do I do? What do I do? Do I stay where I am and be guaranteed the stability, or do I take a bit of a risk and maybe elevate myself? Of course, I can't answer that for you, Capricorn, but just know that the opportunities will come, and I do hope that you remove some of the fear out of that and make a good, balanced decision after perhaps taking some wise advice, particularly financial advice, contract advice, legal advice. And once you're more prepared, then diving into the unknown won't make you feel so afraid. It won't make you lose sleep, because here we have the energy of Mercury in Sagittarius, October 31st. Losing sleep, being very stressed out as we come towards the end of the month, because it's the energy of you want to make new contacts, you want to run with something, you want this to happen, but yet the fear is there saying, oh my God, am I crazy? I just want peace. I just want to be in a good position in work. I don't want the stress of having to make this huge decision, of taking such a leap of faith into the unknown. But again, I know if I don't do it, then I won't get in there. I won't break through the ceiling somehow, because it's that thing of I want to be stable and I want to be secure, but yet I have to take a big risk and be bold and adventurous, But what I'm sensing here towards the end of the month, Capricorn, is that here's the energy of you standing on your own 2 feet, feeling more confident, independent, sure of yourself, your abilities, your talents, your skills. Your confidence is just beaming when you took a leap of faith into a new beginning and into the unknown, where you went boldly where no Capricorn has gone before. So I don't like influencing decisions. I mean, you have to make this decision yourself, but it seems that there is benefit. Say it nicely. There is a benefit to you strongly considering taking that leap of faith, and also taking that leap of faith into love, taking that leap of faith into a new team of people, into a new group of friends, taking that leap of faith into really exploring who you are now. Maybe who you are now doesn't fit into the old job, doesn't fit into your old group of friends, doesn't fit into the old space, doesn't fit into the old love life. And maybe, again, you don't fit into your salary bracket anymore. Maybe that's what it is. And the big challenge is for you to become somebody who is deserving of these big things. We always talk about this, Capricorn. You are changing fundamentally. It's you who are changing. And this is a really good month for you to explore the unknown version of you, the unknown changes that have so beautifully begun to unfold in you. So now, unfold like a beautiful Capricorn rose. Unfold yourself. And now begin to show yourself off. Show yourself off so that people get to see the new you, the one who deserves to be in a better career, the one who deserves bigger roles in their life with more responsibilities, the one who is in charge of your own life, and the one who actually does celebrate the big leap into who you're becoming. Yeah, because as you blossom, people will come to admire the new blossoms. And that's what it is. People will come at the end of the month to really admire you, Capricorn. So, again, I can't tell you what to do, but I would strongly urge you to jump. Jump into the unknown, where there's no safety net, where you're not even looking at where you're going, you're just jumping into your future. But watch that the sun is on your back. Sorry, I just moved that card so you can actually see what the hell I'm talking about. He's jumping into the unknown with a flower, with a rose in his hand, a white rose, symbolizing a new flower, a new bloom. Something new in you is blooming, and the sun is on your back, encouraging you to continue. See why it's worth it, Capricorn. And also, here is the big wheel of fortune, turned and moved by perhaps both Jupiter and Saturn here. Jupiter is also in the 11th house, trying to bring you this great luck. A change in luck is happening for you, particularly at the end of the month. There's a revolution potentially happening here for you, where you do open like that beautiful white rose. Yeah. This is a karmic ending. Yeah, okay, I'm going with this, Capricorn. All the work that the beautiful work that you've been putting into yourself to redevelop your identity, reshape yourself, to assert yourself again when you had somewhat lost your identity. And you have been putting all the pieces of you back together again. But now the pieces are more beautiful. You know that beautiful artwork, Japanese art, that's called kintsugi, is that what it's called? Whereas if a ceramic breaks and falls, it's not thrown out, it's brought back together again by gluing it with gold. So in fact, even though it has been broken, it now looks more beautiful because it's all lined in gold. And I think that's what you've been doing over the last few months, the last year perhaps, trying to pull the pieces of yourself back together again. And I think this month is where you see that it's gold lined. And it's more beautiful than it ever was. And that's where you see this revolution in yourself. It's an inner revolution, which is beautiful. Now the last card, it's an interesting one to have at the end. As we leave October, maybe around Halloween, there could be a few challenges. I did say that you might be saying goodbye to a few people around the 31st of October, maybe saying goodbye to some work friends, maybe saying goodbye to some friends, cutting ties and severing ties with some people. And this may feel a bit harsh and it may feel a bit severe at first, but it's worth doing. And yet, here we see sometimes this card represents disquiet or discord. Discord where? Where would that be coming up now, Capricorn? Maybe at the very end of the month. It could be something to do with this, maybe letting go of an old group of friends and starting over with a new group of friends. But if there are any challenges while you're making this big inner revolution as you're growing, if there are any inner challenges, do remember that this is happening, this is supposed to happen for you. And don't fight it, don't quarrel with it, don't battle with it. Don't suddenly say, oh, I want the wheel to turn back around again and I want to climb back up on that cliff so I can not make that leap and not follow the inner revolution. And I it's too much of an internal struggle or an internal battle to go with this. Let that drop, let that go. Sure, it's scary to maybe change your career, change your responsibilities, change your whole dynamic, maybe bring a new love into your life, a new circle of friends, new team of people. That's scary. Changing your whole identity, it's scary. So if at the end of the month you find that you're meeting a little bit of inner resistance from that, don't worry about it. Just go with the flow this month and let the change happen. Okay, Capricorn, I'm going to leave it at that, and I really do wish you the very best of luck with this electric, magnetic energy that's happening within your career in particular. And there are going to be very sudden events, sudden changes, sudden opportunities, sudden surprises, and maybe sudden karmic love. So be alert for it. And like I said, the wheel is turning, so don't resist it. You'll be better off if you don't resist. Do not resist the turn of the wheel and bloom like the new white rose that you are. Capricorn, I'll leave it at that. If this is the first time seeing my videos, then please subscribe. Join me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and now Snapchat also. And and don't forget to come back next month. And for those of you celebrating Halloween, happy Halloween to you. Those of you who celebrate the Celtic festival of Samhain, then I'll say Iha Haunach on a Grieve. Have a wonderful Samhain festival. And until next month, my gorgeous, I will leave you with all my love and a big kiss. Mwah. Love you, Capricorn. See you next month.